So there are easy ways of creating worksheets using Google Docs, and apparently not a lot of people know about this method. So I thought I would share with you how I create my own worksheets to sell in my digital product shop. Hey guys, this is Dawn Marie and I'm here on YouTube documenting my journey of starting my own digital product business from scratch. Now, I'm a digital marketer and I work with clients helping them with their own marketing strategies to grow their own business. So I thought, why don't I create something for myself and document it as a living case study and then share the results with you. In these videos, I'm going to share my wins, my highs, my lows, my mistakes, my thoughts, my ideas, everything with you. So perhaps maybe you can take away some things. Maybe you might learn a few lessons or tips and tricks here and there, and you can apply it in your own business as well. So if that's interesting, then I would love if you subscribe to the channel. And if you're coming back again, then welcome back. So I'm going to dive straight into the video to show you how I create my worksheets using Google Docs. So I have my content already lined up. The first thing that I want to do is I want to add some headers and footers to my document because I want to make sure that when people use my worksheet, they know that who is the person behind the brand and the business, so as to give them some type of ownership. So what you add as a header and footer is entirely up to you. Some people add their business name, title of the workbook, or logo to the header. The most popular additions to the footer are page numbers, dates, website, URL, author name, whatever. The header and footer is really to keep your workbook organized, so don't think too much about what should go in these margins. Usually my footers contain my brand name, website, and page number. So let's first create my footer. And to do that, I'm going to go into Insert, then Headers and Footers, and I'm going to click on Footers. Now I'm going to enter some additional information here. Now, the text is quite big in the footer, and I don't really like this. I prefer my footer being a bit more discreet. So I'm just going to highlight this text. Then I'm going to come up here to the font size, and I'm going to reduce this to maybe about 8. Then I'm also going to align it to the center. Now I can click out of that, and I want to do the same thing for the header. So I will go again back to Insert, Headers and Footers, and this time I will choose Header. So I'm going to click inside the header. Again, I'm going to go Insert because I want to insert my logo. I click Image, Upload from Computer, and I will find my logo. Now I'm going to select my logo and resize it because it is a little too big. And also I'm going to align it to the center. Okay, perfect. So I have my footer, my header in place, and also my footer. Now I'm not going to have a cover for this workbook. All I want to have is an instruction page on what the user needs to do. And then I'm going to go straight into my workbook. However, if you'd like to add a cover page to your workbook, I'll leave a link to a video that shares with you how to create a cover for an ebook that you can apply those same principles to the workbook. And I'll make sure to leave that in the description box below. So I'm going to go back to where my copy is, my content, and all I'm going to do is simply copy and paste the instruction content. Then I'm simply going to add a style, a heading style to my first sentence because I want this to stand out. And I'm going to highlight the text, go to the styles, which is the text styles. And then I'm going to apply heading 1 to this text. Perfect. I've just made it bold. Now to get to the second page, I'm just going to tap down. So you can see that my header and my footer is automatically inserted onto my second pages. And that's exactly what I want here. So again, I'm going to copy the text, which is more instructions, which is going to tell the user what they need to do in the workbook section. So you can see here that this is where I now need to add a table, because from here you will see insert 3 columns, and I have the text that I want also to add to my columns. So here's how I'm going to add columns to start my worksheet. I'm going to tap down where I want the column to appear. I'm going to go to Insert, Table, and I want 3 columns, 1, 2, 3. With that inserted, I now want to add my text into these columns. Then I'm going to align the text to the center by highlighting the entire column. Go to Align, then Center. And here's how I'm going to make this into a professional worksheet. So I'm going to now fill the background color with a dark gray, turn my text white, and make it bold. Perfect. Next, I'm going to tap down. You can see that the color comes through, but I don't want the color there. So I'm going to highlight everything, go back to background color, and turn that transparent. So that is my first table. But I don't just want to leave it like this. I want this table to be longer so that people know they can write a lot of text in it. So all I'm going to do is place my cursor into the column, and I'm simply going to enter and tap down. So I can lengthen my column as long as I wanted to. And there you go, my first worksheet. Now let's add additional content, and I will do the same thing to add the other tables from this document here. To add a section where people can write, I'm going to again go to Insert, Table. This time I only want 1 column because this is going to be a large column for people to write in. I'm going to take this text, insert it here. Then I'm going to tab to enter to a next section or next row. I want to just make this stand out a little, so I'm going to highlight the entire row. I'm going to add my gray background color, turn the text white, then make it bold. And then I'm going to lengthen the space where people will be able to write. Perfect. So do you see how easy that is? And really, this is how I create my worksheets for my clients. If I'm creating a marketing brief, for example, I do the exact same thing, the exact format, and I send it to my clients for them to complete. Now, if you want, you can also add a call to action page or contact us page so that people know what is the next step you want them to take, whether that's upgrading to a new product you're selling, or maybe they can check out some other free resources. To add my call to action page, I'm just going to create a new page here, like I did. Then I'm going to add my content. And then to add my button, again, I'm going to go to Insert, Table, 1 square alone for my button. And I'm going to add my call to action text. Let's remove the formatting. I'm going to center the text, highlight the entire row. I'm going to make this color now blue. I'm going to also make the border the same color. I want my font to be white and bold. And then I'm going to link this because this acts as a button, and I'm going to link it to Google, for example, but you can link it wherever you need it to go. Now you can see that my text has turned blue, but I want this to actually be white. So I'm going to highlight the text again, click on the font color, turn it white, and remove the underline. Okay, and that's how I add my call to action page. So this looks very professional. And there you go, you have your worksheet all completed. So the final thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add my title, and I'm going to give it a name, Discover Your Niche Workbook. As this is a workbook, I can either download it as a PDF to upload wherever the hosting platform I want to use is, whether that's Amazon or WordPress. So I simply go to File, Download, and I can download it as a PDF, but I would prefer to rather share it with my users. So I'm making sure that instead of having restricted access, I'm going to put to anyone with the link. I'm going to keep it as a viewer so that whenever I share the link, anyone who has this, they will be able to download it on their computer and use it themselves. So they wouldn't actually edit this workbook. They would only be able to view it. And that's another great thing about using Google Docs, is that you can actually update your workbook, and whoever has the link that you just shared will also have the updated version as well. Hey guys, so that's how I create a workbook and worksheet using Google Docs. I hope it has been helpful, and you will be able to create your own Google worksheets or workbooks for your own students as well. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel and turn on those notifications for when I post, especially more content on digital products. See you in my next video, guys. Bye now.